Hello, and welcome back to Live in 30. I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success, and you're here for episode number 7 of Live in 30. Yes, 7 weeks now. It's really exciting to be able to share with you tips about how to become a better networker, how to build those relationships, how to build your network that will serve you for years to come. So 30 Second Success, we're all about helping you craft your 30-second message and really make those authentic connections with your audience wherever you're networking, whether you're in a large group, whether you're networking with at a big event, or a network that's you're really established with already, or one that's just starting. Also being able to network in those small settings, whether it's a business luncheon or just when you're out at the grocery store. So teaching you how to be a better connector, understanding how to build those relationships, what networking is really all about is our goal at 30 Second Success. And we start with your 30-second message. How do you connect in 30 seconds or less with your audience? That's what we're all about. We have a great program, online courses for you to tap into that'll help you grow your business, starting with your ideal client, how to craft your message, and maximizing your networking. So check out our website, 30secondsuccess.com. It's 30 and then the word second success.com. And also connect with us on social media, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us everywhere. So we would love to see you. We'd love to hear some comments, and we would love for you to participate in some of our sessions. So we want to get started here. Had some really great connections this week, but one of the things that really kind of was a reminder for me, and I was having a conversation with someone the other day about how some people can be a little off-putting in networking environments, is all about networking etiquette. So Live in 30's episode 7 is all about networking etiquette. Now, we can talk about the typical turn your cell phone off. Don't be looking at your cell phone while somebody's doing a presentation or you're talking to somebody. Stop checking your cell phone every chance you get. You know, the whole idea about how you smell, how you dress. Are you dressing professionally? Did you check your breath? Are you using a breath mint? You know, you don't want to knock anybody over. Just some of those typical things. Don't talk with food in your mouth. Be careful, of just the whole drinking. If there's drinking involved, be careful not to drink too much and get sloppy. Those are pretty typical networking etiquette things, right? The close talking. Oh, yeah, close talking. If you're like me and you have issues with being in confined spaces, when somebody steps up and starts like talking really close to you and they are like in your face and they're having a conversation with you and you start backing up, trust me, when someone's backing up from you, that means you're talking a little bit too close. And personal space issues, remember, everybody's got a personal bubble. You don't want to invade that bubble. Hey, Jana, nice to see you. Thanks for joining today. So please feel free, if you want to jump in and you have any questions, please pop them in there. I'd appreciate that. So networking etiquette is really important in understanding how to present yourself. So a couple of things that I wanted to just share and just kind of throw out there, things to be conscious of, be aware of when you're doing them. So one of them is, that it is just that don't get ugly. It was funny because somebody put that in terms to me today. I was on an interview with Joe Hausman on her Voice of America radio show for Go For It. We were talking about people getting ugly at networking events. And I don't mean physically ugly. I mean what you're talking about, okay? The negativity, just kind of being kind of crabby, your personality really, you want to be positive. You want to be upbeat. You want to be encouraging. And you really want to draw people to you rather than repel them. So if you're saying some things that are just kind of off, and politics can be very off-putting for some people too. So just be aware of what you're talking about. Be aware that you are bringing a positive attitude to the group rather than a negative one. So don't get ugly. Careful of the conversation. If conversation starts to get a little bit testy and people are kind of not happy and backing up from you because they don't like what you're saying, change the subject. Be thoughtful in what you're talking about, what you're sharing. Be mindful. That's just, a lot of people don't like talking politics at networking events. And then there are other people who rather enjoy it. Find the people. If that's a conversation you want to have, find the right people. So just be sensitive to who you're sharing those things with. The next thing I want to talk about is interruptions. Be mindful of interrupting people. It's a lot of times we get to a networking event and people have already gotten there before us and they're having conversations. And it's not always easy to break into a group or a conversation. But be mindful, just stepping into a conversation, pardon yourself, excuse me, I just want to say hi, and then allow the conversation to continue. A couple times I've had people, like I'll be in the middle of a conversation, mid-sentence, somebody will interrupt me and they have their agenda and all of a sudden they're talking to me about something that totally has nothing to do with the conversation I was just having with 3 other people. And they kind of draw me away from those conversations that I was in the midst of. So just be aware if somebody's in the middle of a conversation, be polite, join the conversation. Don't change the subject. If you want to change the subject, wait for the right opportunity. Ask a question, and then that'll enhance and allow the conversation to change naturally. It's a natural flow. So be careful of interrupting people. Listen to listen. Don't listen for what you're going to say next. Be intentional about listening. It's amazing when somebody's having a conversation and they feel your presence. They know you're there. They know that you're listening to what they have to say. And it's almost like you're hanging on every word. They appreciate that. Sometimes, entrepreneurs, business owners, sometimes we're in this bubble and we're so busy all the time. And the first chance we get to actually have an intelligent conversation with someone, it's nice just to be able to share our thoughts and let them get out before we get interrupted or stopped or distracted and on to the next project. So allow people the space to really share what's on their mind and then have that polite conversation rather than being interruptive or stopping someone mid-sentence because you have something to add. So just be sensitive to that. It's so important. That etiquette, it's really, it's a lot of things that we learned when we were kids growing up. Being just authentically in tune with the people around us is what it's about. It's really about that consideration for others and making it about them and allowing them the space to be themselves. So it's really intentional, be listening, be aware. And, we have a chance to share what we want to share too. The other thing too is don't be afraid to, ask somebody out to coffee, to have a conversation. If there's something really on your mind that you wanted to connect with this person and ask them these questions and have that conversation, and you don't have a chance to have that conversation at a networking event, invite them out to coffee. One-on-ones are a great way to get your thoughts and your ideas out there. So don't be afraid to ask someone out to coffee. Say, I really enjoyed what you're sharing. I have more more questions for you. Let's get together for coffee. Don't be afraid to invite them out. So then another thing that I wanted to talk about is trapping people. Be really mindful. People don't like to feel trapped in a conversation. When you grab someone's attention and you kind of back them into a corner, there again is my whole thing about being backed into a corner or into tight spaces. Claustrophobic, can you tell? So it's really important to just be mindful when you are having a conversation with someone. There's a lot of other people in the room. And there may be other people that you need to get to or they need to get to just to say hi, share some information. Networking is about, having conversations, kind of like rolling conversations through the room, connecting with different people that you haven't seen in a while, saying hello to a few people, saying, hey, I'd love to get together for coffee. I have some ideas I want to share with you. So be mindful when you're in a group and you have someone's undivided attention that, just be aware of time. You don't want to take up too much of their time. If you have a lot you want to converse with them about, or you're having a really great conversation and there's a few other people that you want to make sure that you say hello to, just don't be afraid to say, hey, I love what we're talking about here, and I really would love to dive deeper into it and have a really intentional conversation with you. There's a few other people here that I'm sure you want to connect with, and there's a few other people that I know have been waiting for me to have a conversation with them as well. So why don't we do this? Why don't we schedule a time for coffee? I would love to be able to just sit with you and share and learn more and figure out ways that you and I can work together. It's a great way to convert someone to that next conversation and really be intentional about respecting their time, respecting the fact that we're here to network. We're here to connect with a lot of people. So try to be thoughtful and not, trapping someone. Or when you feel trapped in a conversation, when somebody's just kind of monopolizing your time because they might be really, really nervous about meeting other people, do the same thing. Invite them to coffee. Invite them to another conversation and say, come on, there's somebody else over here that I'd love to introduce you to. There's a couple people here that I think would be really interested in learning more about your business. And then take them and introduce them to a couple other people. A lot of times when people have a tendency to gravitate to you and they kind of trap you, it's because they're a little bit insecure and they're looking for a familiar face, somebody to kind of hang out with. Don't be afraid to take them and introduce them to somebody else instead of just standing and having your own conversation and missing opportunities to connect with other people. There's also a really cool thing that happens when you introduce people to one another. It kind of elevates you within the group. It's that know, like, and trust factor. You're building that know, like, and trust factor. People are like, oh my gosh, she really thought enough of me to introduce someone else to me. She thought enough of my business. She understands my business and knows that this is a really great connection. Is that building that know, like, and trust factor. So there's a little tip for, taking those people and kind of turning them into a great opportunity to, again, build that know, like, and trust, which is really important to your networking. I think that was episode 5 or 6. No, 4 or 5. So make sure you check out some of the other videos for great networking tips. Some of this stuff is kind of crossing over, and I'm sharing a lot of the same tips that you get a little bit deeper understanding about. So when you're looking through the videos, and they're all quick videos that I've shared, 20 minutes or less, make sure that you're just absorbing all this information. It'll help you to become a better, more effective networker. And that's what we want. We want you to build those relationships in your networking environment for years to come. Those relationships that are really going to serve you well, and that you'll be able to communicate effectively with these people that you network with, and that they understand your business well enough from your 30-second message so that they can refer you to their friends and start introducing you to their friends. And that's what you want. So the final piece that I wanted to share with you regarding networking etiquette, we all have beautiful business cards. We all love our business cards, right? Hopefully. Yes, and business cards are a great marketing tool, but don't be a business card pusher. If someone asks you for your business card, great. But don't say, here's my business card, here's my business card, here's my business card. Do you have my business card? Do you want my business card? Do you want my business card? Somebody asks you for your business card, wonderful. Give it to them. Have it on hand. Make sure you have it with you. But don't be a business card pusher. People that freaks people out when it's like, oh, why did you give me your card? Like, I don't even know you. People want to be either A, they want to be asked, would you like my card? Or B, hey, I would love your card. And when they hand you their card, say, here's mine. Would you like my card as well? It's being polite. It's being considerate. A lot of people have piles and piles of business cards on their desk, and not every one of them they're going to be able to get to. So make sure that being intentional about asking people for their cards, and then being respectful enough to either say, hey, would you like my card? Or when somebody asks you for your card, have it handy. So don't be a business card pusher. It's not fun. And you want to make sure that those cards that you hand out are valued and considered value. They are worthwhile, especially when they're connected with you, having a great conversation with someone, and they take your card and they're going, oh my gosh, I need to follow up with her. Oh, I'm gonna schedule coffee with her. That's what you want. You want people to remember you way longer than they remember your business card. So your business card is that tool for them to stay connected with you. And don't be afraid when you ask them to have coffee with you, schedule it right then and there. Make sure you use your calendar. If you use a paper calendar, have it with you. If you use your phone calendar, open it up right away and say, hey, I have next Tuesday available. Know your calendar. Know your calendar before you go into networking. If you're doing virtual coffee, send them a link. Send them a link to your calendar and invite them. So I hope these tips were helpful for you, that networking etiquette. Jana, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here on Live in 30. And it's been a pleasure to share networking tips with you. Again, don't forget to connect on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That's where you're going to find me. So, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure you subscribe below. Actually, it's going to be on this side. On this side. So it's going to be right down here, I think. Yeah. Wait, can't see my hand. There we go. Over on this side. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this whole camera thing, right? Make sure you subscribe. And follow us each week on Live in 30 for some really great business tips on becoming a better networker. So have a wonderful afternoon. It's been a joy to be here with you. Thank you so much. I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success. Remember, ditch the pitch and start connecting.